Blessed are those who watches this video till the end, for the contents in them are not just mind-blowing, creepy, make you rethink reality, but also informative and maybe even life-changing. With me here, your host for today, Y311H, straight out of the heart of East Africa, with a ton of good vibes, my friend, and a message for you. How good and pleasant it is when brothers live together in unity. The Book of Wisdom, Psalms 133, verse 1. Here we are about love, peace, honesty, unity, forgiveness, and good vibes. We spread that to the whole world, guided by the Creator. Let's give thanks to this Maker and dive in. Wonderful Creator, Maker of our souls, we uplift you, Father. Thank you for the grace of seeing this beautiful day, Father. Thank you for your breath in us. Thank you for your precious soul, today's viewer. Bless them abundantly through this video, Father. Transform their minds and their lives, Father. In your holy name, Jesus Christ, we give thanks for everything. Amen. Let's dive in and spread some good vibes, my friend.
So I don't know if you noticed, but this is actually an insect that is pretending to be a stick when disturbed. So the way it does it is it tucks its legs closer to its body and it holds its first two front legs against its antennae.
This is an insect.
Here is the same stick insect on the leaf.
Wow.
And in a moment we'll get a close-up of its head. And now you can see the antennae and the eyes. And it's woken up. Off it goes.
Man, that insect feels like it was made just for that. It's good vibes.
So I came across the work of a guy called Robert Monroe. Robert Monroe was a kind of media executive, radio executive. And he had this gift of what they call astral traveling. He was able to project his consciousness into this astral dimension, which is where these entities operate from, and experience it. And he kind of popularized it in a series of books. And the American military became very interested in it. And they developed a program they called Gateway. And what they did was get together Monroe and these other people that had this same astral projection gift. And they did this study. And some years ago, the CIA declassified the report, and it makes extraordinary reading. First of all, they confirm that what people call reincarnation is true, is real. They also gathered evidence from these various astral projectors that they were coming across so many reptilian entities in this astral dimension that the Gateway Project, a U.S. military psychological project, came up with the term the alligators to describe them. Oh, they've seen more alligators. And what Monroe was saying, and others I've come across have said, is that they learned in these astral projections that these entities are feeding off low vibrational human energy. Now, this takes us to the subject of the film. And the question, why are they making these human sacrifice gifts to the gods? What do the gods get out of it? Well, what they're doing is orchestrating rituals to elicit, understandably, maximum terror in the victim, because terror is an extremely powerful low vibrational energy. And what happens when the terror reaches a certain point is it creates a chemical reaction in the body that releases adrenaline, a very powerful adrenaline, into the blood. And this is what the Satanists drink.
Is that what we call adrenochrome?
It's what we call adrenochrome. Yeah, this is real, and it's this it's blood laced with this very powerful adrenaline, and it gives them a high. I mean, people I've spoken to around the world who've experienced these rituals and have observed these rituals. They say that when these Satanists drink this adrenaline-laced blood, they go crazy. It's like gives them a high. It's like an elixir to them.
But let me put this clear. So it's in the end, it's human beings drinking this blood. It's not those other entities.
Oh yeah, but hold on. There's the other level of this ritual is this. You know, if you were in a real extreme emotional state, if you were terrorized, I would see from your facial expressions and your body language that you were terrorized. What I wouldn't see, because it's outside of visible light, is the energy you're giving off in the form of that terror. Why? Because that energy is an astral phenomenon. It's going into the astral dimension. And these entities that oversee these rituals are then in the astral dimension. They're feeding off this energy of terror that the sacrificed person is giving off. And that's the gift to the gods that the ancients talked about. And it's this network is so vast, and yet you hear about it so little, because if the elite are massively involved in it, they have the power to cover up the fact that it's going on. That's why it comes to public attention so little. But when you go one step back and you do the research, not mainstream media research, but you talk to the people involved, then you realize the scale of it. It's absolutely fantastic. And I'll tell you this, mate, the Netherlands is one of the great centers for it. So's Belgium. That's why you had the Dutroux case some years ago, which came to public attention, and they shut it off. They let Dutroux be jailed, but the real elite that were orchestrating it, and he was a gopher for, they were all protected. And this is what happens all over. This is why Jimmy Savile was an inner circle bosom buddy of the British royal family, but the British royal family got away without question, even though he was exposed for the extraordinary level of pedophilia he was involved in.
Yeah.
Oh, my friends, lots of strange things that goes on in this world. This whole story, good vibes, guys talking about adrenochrome and humans drinking blood from other things. That's unbelievable. From this side of the world, there's a community called the Maasai. Those ones, they drink blood from the cow. They mix it with milk. It's disgusting, but we love them that way. But now these other humans have taken it to the extent of blood from other athletes. Can't believe this is real, my friend. Please leave your thoughts on that. That insect we saw there in the first video was quite blessed, my friend. It looks like it was just made to hide in disguise like that. Wonderful stuff that goes on in this world. Let's see more together.
I stopped drinking because of something that I saw in my camera roll of myself that was not me. We're gonna get into this.
Always say no to drugs.
31st, 2020. And I was, keep in mind, I'm scrolling through this. I don't remember this because I blacked out. I was on Bourbon Street. And apparently I was in the bathroom in some bar on Bourbon Street, recording myself crying and just melting down. And then all of a sudden, I stopped crying. My eyes turn jet black and my face just goes cold. And whatever it was in me looked up at my phone and it said, if you take another drink, mark my words, this is gonna happen. I promise you. And I saw that video. And I showed my wife. I ain't drink no more. We going on almost 6 years. I ain't drink no more.
Yeah, happy for you.
For me to see, I saw a demon in my own face. That's my story.
You don't have to learn like our brother here. Always say no to drugs, good vibes, earthlings. Now look at this. This looks like some sheep from the past. Oh, those flying things that people these days say are UFOs. This one looks human-made. Or are those the people... Or you mean those could be aliens? They look like people? Man, don't tell me these things all along could have been government stuff. Oh, my friends, this is unbelievable. And it looks like this video itself is from the past. It's like they started making these things long ago. Maybe could be why the ones that people see recently are extremely advanced. Because if this thing looks like it's from the past like this,
and I cannot explain what they saw.
I got one of the most famous astronauts of all time, pilot, astronaut, Senator Mark Kelly, to answer questions about being an astronaut that everyone's too afraid to ask. There are rumors about an odor on the ISS. Could you try to describe that odor?
When you open the hatch to the space station, it is like a punch in the face. I'd say it's a combination of locker room, garbage, and BO.
Is there something that astronauts pretend is normal in interviews but is actually just incredibly weird?
I mean, using the bathroom, not the urination part, but the other part is incredibly complex. And I could go into very graphic detail that would freak people out. You know, think about like when people have surgery and then they're in bed and how their whole like gut system shuts down. That kind of happens to most people in space. I mean, we are designed genetically, evolutionarily to live in gravity. Probably in a couple years, a human would turn into just like kind of a bag of jelly.
Do you get an adrenaline rush still?
Oh, yeah. And I would go back under the right conditions. Like if I could go to the space station again, like on flying like a Falcon 9 or something in a Dragon, I would go in a second. Spacewalks are hard though. The training is really hard. And we had to put in restrictions on training, especially how much time somebody could spend upside down in the pool with all their weight on their shoulders because the suit is neutrally buoyant in the water. So it's underwater and it's floating, but you are not neutrally buoyant in the suit.
Would you go to the moon?
Yeah, I would go. Wouldn't you?
No. Did going to space permanently change how you see conflict back on Earth?
Yeah, you look down at the Earth as a big round ball just floating there in the blackness
did you say
of
round?
space. Let me remind your viewers, round. And you really get this sense how we're all in this together. You know, there's no borders between nations that you can see.
What are your thoughts on aliens?
You know, I think it would be very egotistical of us to think we're the only intelligent species in the galaxy or in the universe. If we ever encountered, and I don't think it's likely that we do, but if we ever encountered any other kind of life, it's going to be either millions of years behind us technologically or millions of years ahead of us. So what does that mean to me? We don't want to. And I will also admit there has been some very compelling cases, one in particular that is very public, F-18s with the TikTok thing. I've talked to the 2 crew members involved in that. They're very, very credible. And I cannot explain what they saw. I mean, this is the hardest job I've had in the Senate. Not this job. Not the astronaut job's hard.
Oh,
it's
my
not
friends,
like
I'm surprised that these astronauts are real. From this side of the world, people don't even learn those things. It's like People don't believe people can really go to space and to the moon. We believe there is nothing beyond the sky, just some waters above that guard us from going outside. But anyways, that's what brother was saying, and it's like he was really in space. Now, my friend, there was that good vibe soul who was talking about quitting to drink. My friend, child of God, say no to all drugs. Be good vibe soul. The only drug that helps, my friend, is love. Be addicted to love, loving your neighbor the way you love yourself, and spreading some good vibes. Let's hear what some more good vibes souls will tell us on this one.
Oh my god, guys, I have a theory on beauty standards that I'd like to run by you. This is blowing my mind, so sorry if I'm acting weird. This is the secret lives of color. And so 1 in 12 men are colorblind. 1 in 200 women are colorblind. 1 in 12 versus 1 in 200. Now, this is a sidebar that I swear is related. Most people who are colorblind can't join the military because like port starboard side, like port side I think is red, starboard side is green. Most common type of colorblindness is red-green. However, in World War II and Vietnam, they made an exception for colorblind people because colorblind people are not distracted, like they're not focusing on the color element, they're focusing on texture, structure, shape, right? Texture. Now, if you think about all the things that guys don't like about women's bodies, cellulite, acne, razor bumps, hair, stretch marks, texture. They're picking up on the texture. What don't they like about birthday makeup? It's cakey, texture, right? When they talk about being hairless, they're focusing on smooth. That is texture, right? And then why are women in their 20s and 30s past their prime? Spinsters, haggard, old, dull. The thing is red-green. Complementary colors can make gray, right? And when you're in your late 20s or early 30s, you're losing radiance. Now, there's chromatic gray, but like if you're losing radiance, it's just a flatter gray. It's gonna look dull. Are beauty standards the random ones? Because 1 in 12 men are colorblind.
Oh, my sister, how did you know that and you're not a man? Man, this is surprising us. A good vibe sister there just spoke for the men in the house.
An atheist asked a Christian where God comes from, and I must say the answer was a mic drop moment. Watch this.
I am confused. Being philosophically consistent and being a very honest person, I'm sure you can tell me where God came from. In addition, once you've told me where God comes from, please try to clarify how you can figure that a spiritual force can have an impact on a material universe to create it.
All right, your question, where did God come from, assumes that you're thinking of the wrong, obviously it displays that you're thinking of the wrong God, because the God of the Bible is not affected by time, space, or matter. If he's affected by time, space, or matter, he's not God. Time, space, and matter is what we call a continuum. All of them have to come into existence at the same instant, because if there were matter but no space, where would you put it? If there were matter and space but no time, when would you put it? You cannot have time, space, or matter independently. They have to come into existence simultaneously. The Bible answers that in 10 words. In the beginning, there's time. God created the heaven, there's space, and the earth, there's matter. So you have time, space, matter, created a trinity of trinities there. Just, time is past, present, future. Space has length, width, height. Matter has solid, liquid, gas. You have a trinity of trinities created instantaneously, and the God who created them has to be outside of them. If he's limited by time, he's not God. The guy who created this computer is not in the computer. He's not running around in there changing the numbers on the screen, okay? The God who created this universe is outside of the universe. He's above it, beyond it, in it, through it. He's unaffected by it. So the concept that a spiritual force cannot have any effect on a material body, well then I guess you'd have to explain to me things like emotions and love and hatred and envy and jealousy and rationality. I mean, if your brain is just a random collection of chemicals that form by chance over billions of years, how on earth can you trust your own reasoning processes and the thoughts that you think? Okay? So Your question, where did God come from, is assuming a limited God. And that's your problem. The God that I worship is not limited by time, space, or matter. If I could fit the infinite God in my 3-pound brain, he would not be worth worshiping, that's for certain. So that's the God that I worship. Thank you.
Man. Wow, unbelievable, my friend. God must have been proud there for his child just the way he explained him. Unbelievable. Nice listening to that good vibes child of God, my friend. Please leave your comments and spread some love.